Welcome, everyone, to a Thursday night special edition of Down South Sports Fanatics. I'm, of course, joined by my great host friends, Mr. Dave Robin. What's up, Dave?
What's going on, guys? Who that? 2-0, baby.
And the truth himself, Mr. Pancho Gonzalez. What up,
What's
P?
going on, man? Yeah, we 2-0, man. Let's keep it rolling.
I hear that. And, of course, the legend himself, a good friend of all of ours, our boy, St. Bernard's own, Mr. Darren Burns. What's up, Burner?
What's up, people? How we making out today?
We're looking. I like the hat. So somebody got to turn down. We're getting the echo.
I hear echo. I was about to say it's fucking. It's kind of messing with me a little bit. I hear it.
So listen, let's dive into it, y'all. Let's dive into that Monday night game with the Saints. What you like, what you didn't like. We'll talk about Derek Carr. We'll talk about the defense. We'll talk about it all. Let's start it off, Mr. Pancho. What you thinking about Derek Carr right now?
Man, these Monday games at 6 o'clock ain't called for, man. That's kind of rough on some guys. You know, Monday, man, let's play one
What's
game.
Up, Lance?
Yeah,
Sluggo, what's up?
But as far as Derek Carr, man, it was rough out and mediocre at best. You know, second half he came up a little bit. I'm just glad, you know, our defense stood stout and held down the fort. Darren's couldn't move the ball, you know, at all. But go ahead, man. Let's see what Darren's got to say on the game.
What you think, D? Give us the real story.
All right, so check it out. 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 384 yards. That is Drew Brees' first 2 games with the Saints. Just saying, he was sacked 6 times. Derek Carr, 533 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, and was sacked 8 times. Fellas, we have a problem on the offensive line. Drew Brees didn't get touched for plenty of his career. We have to make that happen.
You agree with that, Dave?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Darren, as I was about to say, I don't know if Darren as good as y'all, man, but I'm like we're vibing on the same topic. With it, I was telling these guys the other night, Darren. I said, look at Watson, look at Mayfield last year with Carolina. You know, Russ. You know, up to this point, it's not easy for a team, you know, new quarterback to come into a new system and just to gel perfectly. But like you said, to me, it all starts with the line. You know what I mean? And I guess it's going to gel over time. At least we hope so. But yeah, I mean, dude, he's got to have more time, you know, to hit those routes downfield. Some of those throws look underthrown, but it's more or less him rushing those throws because he's got a guy in his face like Brian Burns, you know?
I agree with you and Darren. I mean, you know, Pancho made great points too, but I think about it is, what me and Pancho agree upon is we thought it was a significant upgrade with Carr versus Jameis and Andy Dalton.
Oh, it is. It definitely is.
My take on the O-line, you're going to deal with this O-line for the next 2 to 3 years. Right? This O-line isn't going anywhere. There's so much money you invest in this O-line, you can't invest any more money. So, I mean, you just re-signed with Ruiz. You just signed Pete. You got McCoy. You got Ramchick. And the only guy you got left on a dollar is Trevor Penny. And is he going replacing the left tackle? Is that going to fix the rest of the line?
He was terrible. He's been terrible all season.
Yes. He's been working in the run game. It's been there for him a little bit. Again, he's just a rookie. I mean, last year he was hurt all year. So this is his rookie year. So you actually throwing a rookie out there, in the fire. I just think you need to put some more help on him. Some chips, some.
Well, but the thing about it is, and look, and
he figures it out.
And the good thing is Darren is a coach and he's coached grown men. The thing about it is missing almost a whole season with Pennington, Penning. Darren, how fast is he going to get adjusted to the scheme, just the cadence of the line together, I don't know. I mean, is it all that?
Well, listen, there's nothing like real game speed. Preseason scrimmages, that's not preparing you for somebody who's going to knock the shit out your quarterback. You know what I mean? They don't go 100% in preseason. In scrimmages, they don't do that. This is somebody out to do bad intentions to your quarterback.
Well, look, let's bring this. Fatty, bring this comment up right quick that Lance just brought up. He said, "I feel we have missed on many O-line in the draft." I mean, we've missed on a lot of the linemen in the draft. Y'all agree with that?
No.
I mean, I think they typically hit, man. I mean, look at the track record. I mean, McCoy's been money. Ramchick's been money. I mean, Teron Armstead years ago. I mean, Penning, like we're all saying, that's the one question mark. I mean, Ruiz has been kind of up and down. I mean, Pete's another one. We love to hate Pete, but it seems like the rest of the league respects this guy because he's made a couple Pro Bowls. So I mean, I don't know. I think they hit for the most part. I just think I mean, you got that 1 weak link. I mean, teams are going to find that, dude. Defensive coordinators are too smart. They're gonna go right after it. But I mean, I think it's just a gelling thing, and hopefully Penning's not a bust, man. I mean, if not, like Pancho said, you got to maybe shift somebody over that way to Chip, But I think play calling has a lot to do with it too. Pete Carmichael's got to know that. Hey, dude, I got this guy struggling on the left side. He's still getting acclimated. Let me call some plays where Carr's, maybe sliding protection to the right or getting rid of the ball, running some screens, using that aggressiveness of the defense, against them. But I mean, your OC's got a lot to do with that. Sean Payton, if he was there still, I'd feel a little more comfortable with somebody like him, knowing how to treat the situation. Pete Carmichael's got to do a better job with play calls.
Who made these comments?
Yeah, I mean,
Lance.
My
Lance
opinion on it, run at Penning. I mean, the first series or two, you can't drop back and expect him to eat up this defensive end the first 3-4 plays. He's going to get their best at the first 2 or 3 plays. Run at them or do some screen plays, do some misdirections to slow down the defense instead of dropping back 3 or 4 steps.
Yeah.
The first 2 drives of the game and just getting killed. You're going to take a 3-yard loss or throw a screenplay, quick outs or something like that, and slow down.
Yeah.
So and give Penning a chance, at that point.
What you think, Dick?
Hey, let's not forget that he did go against 2 good defensive ends. He didn't go against no slouches.
Right. Yeah, he started tough. Absolutely.
But I mean, you got to realize, though, coming from that side, your quarterback's under duress a lot. I mean, that takes to me, like a couple of the throws. And I looked at this too, Dave, and I wanted to bring this up with Dave, too, because I said I felt like Hall was rushing a few throws. And the thing about that is, because maybe he don't trust Penning on the side, He's rushing his throws.
It's a possibility. Yeah, I mean, look at his footwork a little bit.
Like what Pancho just said, it all goes hand in hand. Good.
Even at the Raiders, he didn't have the best O-line, so he never – but again, you have to make do with what you have. Darren to tell you, everybody on the field is professional. You got to play the game. You got to do your job, all right? And if the guy next to you or across from you is better than you, you need to speak up and say, hey, coach, I need some help over here. Or let's do – you need to be a man about it.
And Pancho, coaching has to recognize that too, though, man. Those coaches need to recognize that.
Yeah, but your defensive coach has to know that. Is he looking elsewhere, or they devoting their time somewhere else? But again, I mean, when you look at the film don't lie. Darren will tell you, film is a hard truth. It's going to tell you who's weak, who's your weak link.
That's the truth.
Oh, yeah. Darren can tell you in them meetings, man, them closed-door meetings, trust me, it gets heated sometimes. It gets heated.
Very heated.
But they keep it in the locker room.
And Richie, talk about that running game, Richie. Like, to me, it's like I think we got a little one-dimensional at one point. I know Alvin Kamara's not there. Jamal's been kind of, he's off to a little bit of a slow start.
The running game's been bad.
But here's my thing. Here's a cure-all to that, and you just got to use them. I mean, we've said it on the podcast numerous times. I mean, there was that stat we saw on the thread earlier. What was it, 16-1 when Taysom Hill has 7 carries or more? That's insane, dude.
Yes.
16-1 is our record. That's insane, man. That's like, to me, it's like you should be running this guy 3 times, 4 times in the first quarter alone. I mean, what the main thing was him throwing that pass. As soon as you do that, you put teams on notice, man. You gotta show that early, and then let him run his ass off after that.
I guess what I would say is, Darren, maybe you can comment on this. I mean, really, truthfully, the offense is really coming together. It's all new. It really is. We got new linemen, receivers. Mike's coming back. Alabi's finally is getting on the same page with Carr. Sheree, all these guys are new. Tight end position, we don't know where it's at. Jawan Johnson's just been absolutely a ghost. I don't know where he's been at in this offense. So, what you think, D? What's the,
Well, I know Derek Carr, he needs to look for the tight ends a lot more. I know that for sure.
I mean, and usually, go ahead, Pancho. Go ahead.
Again, the take on Taysom is I wouldn't disrupt the quarterback snaps. I would put him more at the running back, halfback situation, and just do a halfback toss to him. And like I said, he can hit the hole, or he can even stand there and throw the ball. He's got 2 options that way. Mm-hmm. But problem is Taysom tends to fall in love with himself.
Yeah.
In other words, like when he's in the RPO, like he won't hand the ball off. He's always going to take the ball and run.
Now, he handed the ball off a few times this past game,
right.
though. He handed it off.
Yeah.
And he don't want to take away from that. But again, once he becomes more accustomed to that spot and his role in that spot, again, if you use him at halfback and running back, I mean, damn, what is your take? Would you a true running back halfback where you can use Taysom as a halfback toss and he can run out to the side and throw it, like more or less like a flea flicker type deal. But he's also a huge threat to run over your cornerback. If your cornerback is in that position, it's going to be hard for a cornerback to take Taysom down one-on-one.
Right, but you also got to remember what we're doing wrong with Taysom, though, in my opinion, of course, is that we're running him too much. Let him line up at quarterback and throw a bomb
throw the ball
deep to Olave or Schneed, because again, you keep the safeties honest. So they have to play back further. Then when you miss, the linebacker happens to miss, or he's too fast for the linebacker, that safety's in coverage 20 yards down the field. Do you really want to see Taysom Hill wide open 25 yards down the field? I sure don't.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Absolutely. I agree 100%, dude, on that. 100%.
So listen, we're talking about let's dive into the defense a little bit. Of course, Marcus May being suspended now for 3 games. Pancho broke that in our group. I didn't even see it. I don't understand it. This is just ridiculous. What are y'all? I mean, what are we going to do there? We're going to go more nickel. We're going to bring.
I mean, just at this point, I would take a look at the staff that's that's you overlooking your players. Like they need to know. What your guys are taking. This is the second guy that's got hit with PEDs. Hainer being
no. It's not from steroids though.
Well, whatever it is, it's something that he wasn't supposed to be taking.
No, this is stemming from when he was with the Jets, man. This has been going on.
This was Pancho. This was when he was with the Jets. This is when he's appealed this thing for the last 3 years.
That's what I'm saying. But these players, they like Hainer, you need to know what's taking in your
body. I think it's a DWI.
It was for the DWI. That's what he's saying, Pancho.
Yeah.
All right, I got the misinformation on it.
Hold on, Patrick. Patrick says, I feel it's only a matter of time for us to see the offense start clicking. Absolutely.
I agree. I think it's just time, dude. It's just a matter. That's what I was telling these guys. I'm like, dude, we're 2 games in. We're 2-0. Let's be happy. It'll get better. You know what I'm saying? More reps.
The thing about it is, I think we got to stop. And I agree with a lot of things everybody's saying. But sometimes I think us as Saints fans, we put the blinders on when it comes to our team instead of kind of giving how we really feel.
I get it, Richie, but I'm not accepting this type of offense. I'm just saying for where we're at right now, we're 2-0. We almost have to deal with it, but we know we have to get better. I mean, you listen to Derek Carr in that post-game press conference, dude. He feels like shit almost. He knows he didn't play his best game. I mean, it's not like he's going out there, he's ignoring it. He knows what happened.
He definitely owned up to it. That's why give the man respect. The man, he owned up to it.
And I love that about this guy. I mean, I'm not saying this dude's – look, I don't know if Derek Carr will ever be a top 5 or top 8 quarterback, but he's a lot better than what we've had. And I think the guy – I mean, look, he's determined. The guy's focused. I think it's the right spot for him at this point in his career.
And also, too, Darren, maybe you agree with this. I don't want you to comment on this. Sometimes having that many weapons on offense, you're trying to figure out where everybody's at, who's clicking at the right – I don't know, man. It's just it's a lot of talent on the field at one time.
Chemistry. I mean, chemistry takes a little time,
It's just I guess what I would say is the surprising thing to me is Juwan Johnson hasn't been used that much in this offense, especially with Derek. Go ahead, Pancho.
There wasn't a lot of people. I mean, in the first half, Derek Carr was locked on to Thomas, he was catching the ball. But he got locked on, and to me, it kind of he took the focus off from the big picture. Instead of spreading the ball around, that's what he used to with the Breeze, is spread, spreading the ball around. And when you get locked in, it's one-dimensional. Like you're saying, it took away from the run calls, it took away from the downfield passes. Finally, in the second half, they opened it up, man.
And we got to give some credit to Carolina there too.
Go ahead, Dick. Go ahead.
No, I said we got to give some credit to Carolina as well. I mean, they had a pretty decent game plan against us. I mean, we've had some hard games against Carolina. I mean, there is a lot of talent there. I mean, I know with Pat, we were discussing this on there, and I said, man, I didn't say that. I guess when me and him got mixed up on, I was like, hey, they have the talent to be like a top-tier defense. I mean, there's a lot. I know J.C. Horn was out, But there's a lot of big-time talent. Like Darren said earlier, Brian Burns is like one of the best out there. I mean, Derek Brown, who went after Michael Thomas after the game, that dude's a stud. Dante Jackson. I mean, Shaq Thompson. There's a lot of good players. Jeremy Chin. There's talent all over that defense. So I think it could have been something they were taking away early. And I mean, look, Michael Thomas, let's be real. All of our quarterbacks, I mean, Drew especially at times, when all else fails, go to number 13. I mean, so it's not the worst strategy out there to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So listen, let's dive into this defense a little bit, and then we're going to jump on around the NFL, college, and stuff like that. What do you think we need to improve on defense? Because, I mean, the defense has been dominant, but I think there's been a few things that's bothered me as far as coverage. What you think, D? Darren, what you think?
So the crossing routes has been killing us. When you line up on the left and go all the way to the right, and then zone, you're supposed to shove that off. And if we play in man, then there's no way that Marcus May, for example, could be 5 yards behind somebody. That's a big play waiting to happen. But, I mean, we had a couple of dumb penalties on third down that we could have got off the field. And me being the defensive coordinator, I was losing my mind.
That drives me crazy, man.
I watched the game this week at Twin Peaks out here in Georgia, and they had about 10 Panthers fans walking in the fourth quarter. So I was like, this is great.
Did you wear your Saints jersey?
Absolutely, bro.
All up in that Georgia.
Got to.
Hey, it's what it is. But listen, man, as far as the defense, as long as we can stay healthy, we're going to be good. And I wanted to touch on something. If we can give Carl time, I really do believe that he's a top 10 quarterback. I mean, you got to remember, not of all time, I'm talking about right now. You got to remember, I think he was like 12th a couple of times. He's never had a defense like this. He's never had weapons like this. So, I mean, I really feel like this dude can be a good 5 to 8 quarterback. And, I think we could be okay. But the defense is doing their job, definitely. We need to stop DUIs, apparently.
I want to address something right quick. D, not to cut you off, I'm sorry, because I just seen it come up. Me and Dave told out my friend Jared to bench Puka last week.
Yeah, but Tyler Algier. I knew that was coming up at some point, man. I was expecting to get like dog shit on my front door of my house or something. I was telling the kids, hey, look, if there's a steaming pile of dog shit on our front porch, we know what it's about,
Sorry about that, Jared. Look, I benched him too.
Granderson does look good.
Yes.
Granderson looks really good.
Yeah, him and Roach, that Cat Shepard, man, they're looking good up front, man, for sure.
You know what I do like what Dennis Allen's doing? He's rotating them defensive linemen in and out, and I think Darren can appreciate that because he's a defensive coordinator. Fresh legs mean everything.
Look at the Eagles, man. Yeah.
I mean, as athletic as these guys are, they're in great shape. Darren can tell you, even these guys that are 300 pounds, believe me when I tell you, they're in good shape. A 300-pound man in the NFL is in good shape, I'm telling you. But so, Darren, saying that, how important is it with them now rotating these defensive linemen in and out? Fresh legs? Because, I mean, it's just, man, they ain't missing a beat on that defensive line right now.
No, they're not. I mean, imagine boxing a fight every week. Just imagine that you boxing every single week, a fight, not just sparring. So then on Sunday, you're going to box. Then on next Sunday, you're going to box me. The Sunday after, you're going to box Dave. I mean, that's what it is. These dudes are fighting every play.
Yeah. So
cornerbacks, sometimes they could take a play off. Safeties, they could take a play off. Same thing with running backs.
So one of our viewers are asking what's Derek Carr's red zone stats before the Saints. We'd have to look that up. I mean, I'm sure Fatty can bring it up. But I mean, I'm not trying to compare the man in with the Raiders. I'm sorry. I mean,
hey, Rich. Speaking of defense, I mean, this week, I don't want to get. I know you're going to get to that at some point in time, but I got a question. Is what's the latest on Christian Watson, man? That's one guy you kind of circle with the Packers, man. I know Aaron Jones has been kind of banged up. Are they saying anything about Christian Watson just yet?
He's still on the injury report. He came up. He was limited in practice today.
Okay.
So they took Romeo Dobbs. He's off the injury report.
Yeah.
So
and Dobbs is sneaky, man. Dobbs is a sneaky little route runner, man. I like that kid, man. I mean,
I'm not trying to sound cocky, dude. I don't think our secondary is even scared of this. No,
I don't think they definitely weren't scared of Carolina. I mean, I wasn't scared of Thielen, Chalk, and Mingo. I mean, and Hayden Hurst. I mean, I didn't think that skill group was very good at all in Carolina. I mean, Tennessee, that was a lot more of an impressive unit we saw in that first week. I think there was a lot more talent there, even though Tannehill sucks. There was a lot more talent around him.
I think y'all can look, Pancho and Darren, y'all can elaborate on this. I think what's going to kill our defense Sunday, not kill us, but hurt us a little bit, is the running of Love.
Well,
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, we got, Demario Davis ain't letting too many people get by him, man. Demario Davis is a shark.
Yeah.
So, as long as you put Jordan Love is not going to kill you. I mean, if you watch the game this past weekend, his game was not pretty either.
Thank you, Fatty.
But going back with the defense, I mean, you're saying Carl Granderson. I mean, he's doing phenomenal. I just worry about can you afford him in the next year or two with salary. That's going further down the street. But he's probably going to be a Trey Hendrickson. So he's going to be another one up for debate. And it's probably this year or next year. He's playing for a contract. He's playing with a purpose right now.
Who's that?
Yeah. What? Granderson.
He's between him and Cam, they're probably one or two MVPs on the defense right now. Even with Lattimore's gonna be a given. He's given 15 yards the last two games. I mean,
Lattimore's locked down right now.
I think. I mean, I'm not trying to no disrespect nobody on that defense. I think Lattimore's your best defensive player. Sorry.
He gave up 6 yards the first game and 9 yards the second game.
Why would you not? Why not?
Yeah.
Demario Davis is your best defensive player.
But I mean,
hey, what's crazy? That dude doesn't show any age, man. No, well, there's no fall off.
Your quarterback of the D is now to tell you he's putting people where they need to be, making the calls, and you just can't replace that guy. I mean, you can put a body out there, but someone with Demario's knowledge and he probably knows what's happening before it happens. He's a big study guy, in the film room, so he Well, go ahead, Dave.
Warner's a beast too, though.
Yeah. Dude, Warner goes under the radar. That guy can lay a hit on somebody, man. He just attacks the ball.
He's all over the place. Man. My goodness, man.
I mean, he just seems like he's got just a quick, shoot to the ball. I mean, like this guy, there's no wasted motion, no wasted time with him. I mean, he's like an assassin out there, dude. I mean, dude, that was a great pick. Another great Ohio State pick.
And you know what? They almost released him, believe it or not. That was the crazy part, So listen,
where's Zach Long in this whole situation now? Where's Zach supposed to be at? I mean,
Special teams,
yeah.
I mean, he was, supposed to be the next savior, and kind of just,
That ain't happening, brother. That ain't.
But he's lost Warner, man. You got something with him and Demario, man. I mean, that's all. If you got those two great linebackers like that, man, I think everything else falls in place. The cover guys are there. The line, like you said, there's a lot of depth there that we were kind of concerned about before the season. But
yeah. So listen, look.
Darren, what are you doing with Peyton Turner?
Put him on a trading block.
His value ain't going to be there.
No, it's going to be better than another year, and we don't have him at all. We don't get nothing for him. I'll take a third round for him.
I'll tell you, why not look? He's a University of Houston guy, right? I mean, come on. You know how these Texans like to be a little bit of homers. Our buddy Chris could tell us about that a little bit. I mean, why not sell him to a young team that's up and coming? Maybe pair him with Will Anderson, see what happens. I mean, you got nothing to lose if you're the Houston Texans. I mean, you're not going anywhere right now. And like Darren said, if you can get like a mid-round pick for him, why not? I mean, it's Granderson and Cam and everybody else on the end spot,
So listen, let's look. Let's dive in around the NFL a little bit. Surprises, some not surprises. What in the world? And I get he's injured. What in the world is going on with the Cincinnati Bengals?
It's
offensive line.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's got to be.
Darren,
you think it's
Darren, how important is practice?
Difference between championship and getting kicked out in the first round.
So that's the whole Joe Burrow factor. You're getting all these guys that are not playing, not practicing at all, basically.
I'm not just talking about Joe Burrow. I'm talking about the whole team as a whole. The defense looks horrible.
Again, you're paying a man for a reason. All right, he is the captain of your team.
But Pancho, you do realize they let their whole secondary go. The whole secondary is gone.
Well, they're starting safety tandem's definitely gone. I mean, you lost Vaughn Bell and Jesse Bates. I mean, it wasn't easy there,
I mean, I guess these teams. I'm agreeing with you, Pancho. You're paying your money to Joe Burrow. I get what you're saying.
When you're
Trust
paying
me, I hit it.
$55 million a year, that's what, a quarter, 35-40% of your salary. Like there's not enough money to go around. So you got to start cutting, the fat off somewhere. You get what I'm saying? You got the fat's got to.
I can't believe they let Von Bell go though.
Yeah. It seems like they could have kept Bell. I mean, Bell wasn't a guy. I don't think what did he even get from, Carol? I mean, it wasn't, I don't think, a massive payout. I mean, it seems like they could have, found a way to keep him. I mean, I know Bates was a little more of a high profile free agent, but it seemed like Bell would have been more affordable for them.
I think
you know what I mean?
it seems like Cincinnati is really worried about keeping T. Higgins and Jamal Chase. And that's
they're not going to keep T. Higgins, man. I think T. Higgins is gone. Yeah. Keep an eye on him in Carolina next year, man. I got a weird feeling about that. But, I mean, he's going somewhere else.
And here's another team, and I'm sure Darren can elaborate on this. The defense ain't that good. It's really not that good. The Minnesota Vikings, to me, are 0-2, but yet Cousins
passing his ass off.
Cousins is leading the league in touchdowns.
Oh, he's fantasy gold, Richie.
Passing.
He's fantasy gold, that dude. Because you know why, Richie? Remember we talked about the Vikings in our predictions. We said they won all these games by the skin of their ass last year. They had this weak-ass defense. They don't have a running game. They won a lot of shootouts. And I mean, sometimes the year after, that catches up with you. The breaks don't always continue.
Darren, do you think the Jets are going to pull that trade off for Cousins?
No.
I don't think so either.
Cap works, Richie. I don't see how they make it work. Numbers-wise.
Well, here's the thing everybody's thinking about. I don't know if y'all agree with me. No matter who you bring in, I mean, even I said early on, I said I think they might give Brady a call, which they're not. I get it. I don't think Rodgers wants them to succeed without him.
You never know what's going in that guy's head, man. I mean, you never know.
I would be on the phone with Mickey Loomis.
James Winston?
If you can get Winston, Dalton, but
Jacoby Brissett, why not? Yeah, I mean, even a Jacoby Brissett. I mean, Sam Howell's got that on lock in Washington.
Again, so here's what you're dealing with. Is one of these guys going to get you to the Super Bowl? Probably not. I mean, the odds are no. So why would you go and aspirate all these extra avenues, trying to get a quarterback to come in to still be mediocre? Because he's not. No one's going to come in and bring you over the top.
My thing is this: I'm tired of hearing the media and everybody.
Lose the game. Long as
the thing about it is, I'm tired of hearing the media, especially the national media. It's like they want everybody to help the Jets. I mean,
it's New York, Richie. It's New York. It's almost like the Cowboys. Why are the Cowboys on TV so much? These teams like that, the big market teams, I mean, they're always going to get that attention, unfortunately, man.
No, it's just like they want everybody to feel sorry for them. Like, hey, we're just going to give you a quarterback so you can go ahead and win a Super Bowl.
It's almost like they're on Hard Knocks. They had a lot of national games, as far as there were supposed to be some primetime games with these guys. I think that, they were the darlings coming into this year. They were that team that all these people wanted to step to that next level,
And again, Richie, so you got a lot of guys or national media that come from up there. That's Boston and New York.
Yeah.
That's where ESPN's at. That's where
you
get these fans that've been in the dumps for years, and all of a sudden they get
it's a story.
Strike a bolt and strike a lightning, and they all excited. So New York, man, I mean. There's more
Richie, they wanted that Colorado type vibe up there, man.
Oh God! You could. Here we go. You couldn't
Topic
wait,
introduced 23 minutes in, right?
You couldn't wait to bring up Colorado, but you can dive into it if you want.
But Richie, that's what they wanted, though. You know what I'm saying? That's what they were hoping to get. Let's be real. That's what they wanted.
Darren, who are you going to give the Jets? Hill or Winston?
Oh, it's Winston.
Hold on. Did you really just ask me that?
Well, Dave thinks Hill is better than Winston at QB.
He's more valuable than Winston to me. So you give him a guy who's got more throws under his belt.
Hey, here's a question. This is the simplest question I can ask you. How many plays did Winston play in the first two games?
Exactly.
That's simple.
There's no way you trade Taysom Hill.
Yeah, no way. Dave, we on the same page.
But I don't understand.
They get on me about Taysom. I'm a huge Taysom
maybe
guy,
you can explain to us. We all disagree on the Winston thing. Pancho, me, Dave, all of us. Why is it so much? Why is it our fan base makes Jameis Winston such a big topic for a guy that's done hardly nothing for this organization? I don't understand it.
I'm a Winston guy. So
For what?
But you hated
Why?
Winston in Tampa. He hated Winston. Richie, we can go back on the Who Dat podcast, and Poncho's ragging the shit out
I
of
would
Winston.
ask Poncho why.
Yeah.
So,
He comes in.
Listen.
He's got a good. He's in for the team. He's not in it for himself. He's taking every pay cut that you asked him to take. Not because of no other teams come knocking.
Nobody did come knocking, though. Shit.
So he's fully engulfed himself into New Orleans. Like, he's taking this whole New Orleans to and you can talk to the players. You can talk to the coaches. They all say, pat on the back isn't going to win you anything. I totally
No, but he's not a bad guy, Poncho. It's just,
to anything. But I've seen that he can do the same thing Derek Carr is doing right now. There's nothing different that Derek Carr is doing today that Winston can't do.
We'd be 0-2. If it was Winston, we'd be 0-2, Poncho.
Let somebody else different. Darren, the floor is yours.
All right, so quick question. What was his record before he got hurt last year?
Yeah.
Who's that?
What was his record?
Well, 0-2.
No, he wasn't.
1-2. He got that win because Dean Pease played prevent. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. We blew Green Bay out.
Is that in 21?
Yeah, that was that defensive game like we played in the last 10 years, it feels like.
Okay, but he had 14 touchdowns and 3 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, listen, I don't mind Winston. I think we made an upgrade with Derek Carr. I do. I like that Winston decided to stay and be a backup, and he knows the system. But the Saints are moving in the right direction.
But Darren, everybody keeps saying he stayed. You realistically think if somebody would have made him a great offer to go be a starter somewhere else, he would have said no?
Ooh,
No,
can I get on this one?
Come on.
Thank you. He would. Yeah.
I'm always gonna say this because I drafted him twice in 2 of my leagues this year. Not Russell Wilson. It's the coach. That's what made Winston successful, and now he's in Denver. He's no use to us now.
Hey, Fatty, I'm with you on that. I think Sean Payton will get the best out of every
quarterback coach in this league because he built the system around the quarterback.
Look what he did with Teddy Bridgewater.
Look, Richie, I said, look, Taysom 7-2 as a starter. Taysom was 7-2 as a starter.
Sean Payton never had a losing record under any quarterback he had here.
And here's the thing, people. And here's the thing I don't understand. People never talk about us letting Bridgewater go, who won 5 straight games to get the Saints in the playoffs when Drew Brees got hurt. Nobody wants to talk about that.
What did he do after?
I was a Bridgewater guy. I was a Bridgewater guy too. I mean, a lot of guys, they doing the things with, the rookies. They throwing them into the fire. And I think you need to sit and chill for a little while, man.
Who was the quarterback that played when Brees went down?
Bridgewater.
No, not that year. When Brees was hurt for like maybe a couple games. Who was
that? Was Bridgewater. It was
Taysom Hill,
2015, 2016. It was a white
McCown.
Yeah.
McCown.
What was his record? His record was pretty decent too. Or his stats.
Darren, you agree with Fatty saying that it's more Sean Payton than it was anything else?
I mean, yeah, I would have loved to see what Brees did without Payton.
Payton is a beast, dude.
All right, well, listen, we seen what Payton can do without Brees right now, so let's judge him on it. Come on.
So hold on. Here we go. Lance said, how long before Payton gets tired of Wilson?
That's an interesting comment, too.
I think he's there already. I mean,
I think Wilson's a different animal than Brees was. Brees wanted to come here and work hard. Russell Wilson's his own self thing. I mean, it's a different ego you're dealing with Wilson than Brees.
The problem is Denver's got so much money tied up in the Wilson, he can't just cut him.
Yeah. Well, it's an albatross contract. I mean, they gave up a lot to get him as well. Yeah, I mean, it was just.
I mean, they're gonna look stupid.
You cut him. You can't. There's no draft picks to draft anything to back him up.
No,
I'm agreeing.
No, they're stuck with him. They're stuck with him at least another year or so. I mean, after this,
it's no doubt about John Elway to step down from Denver.
He did.
Did he?
He's gone. Elway stepped away 2 years ago. He's gone.
I didn't even realize that.
Yep. 2 years ago.
Well,
they ran him out. He was a drunk.
Maybe they need to bring his ass back.
He had to be drunk that night. He used that first round pick on Tebow.
So what y'all think about Trayvon Diggs?
Man, I tell you,
man,
Practice.
I tell you, Dallas was flying high, man. These first two games, I mean, and that's who, man. I almost look, dude. I hate the Cowboys, but man, that's a brutal loss for them, man. That's.
I mean, Darren, you yourself just said how important practice is. I mean, how hard these guys go in practice. I mean, that's an ACL tear. I mean, that's horrible.
Well, you lost 3. The Cowboys had 3 injured today at practice.
Really?
Yep.
What in the hell are they doing over there?
We brought this up a couple weeks ago. Darren, tell them, and I told them, no matter how athletic these guys are, game shape is different than athletic shape.
Look, I just said that.
Like I said, look at William Perry, the fattest motherfucker in the NFL, but that motherfucker would go out there and play a whole game off and both ways and a whole season.
Yeah.
Because he was in game shape. They don't
That's
each other at practice no more. They're not getting bumped. They're not being prepared.
Well, you can also
high school. I can tell you that.
Well, you can also
look at Chris Jones.
But look what Chris Jones just did. He ain't had to look at training camp or practice.
Yeah, just walked right in.
Ready to go.
What?
Wait. What happened to him?
He had an amazing game.
He had a contract dispute. Yeah,
contract or whatever.
Yeah, but not everybody. It's. You're saying one guy. You're saying one guy out of a whole league. Look, all the injuries that are happening now since they cut practice time, cut preseason. Yeah. There's more injuries now than there's ever been in the NFL, ever. And these guys are in better athletic shape than all time.
Well, listen, let's jump on the subject. Let's ask Darren about this. How important is that? How important is that 4th preseason game that he took away, Darren? Seriously.
All right, so here's a couple of things that I wanted to hit on that. So the preseason game's tough. But you know what's making more defensive players get hurt? Because they scared of consequences from hitting. So you ever see somebody go to tackle the quarterback? You got to grab them and pretty much roll off of them, which means the quarterback can roll on top of you. That's ACLs, MCLs.
Darren, you just seen that with Marcus May. He let your boy blow right
Richie,
by him.
That was a great point. Yeah, great point.
That's why more running backs are going to start being hurt too, because the way they want you to teach these kids now is they want you to teach them how to roll. They want you to tackle and roll with them. Well, what happens when I'm 260 pounds and I grab that 180-pound running back that's a little scat back and I roll and he rolls over his ankle?
Yeah. True. Yep. It makes. Listen. I want to dive into a few. Go ahead, Pancho.
Back a while back, when I coached 4 or 5 years ago in Little League football, I had 2 players. We were taught. We went to a meeting and they told us, like Darren's saying, you grab him and you roll. So we started teaching our guys my kids that in Little League. I had 2 parents who let their kids quit because that's the way it was being taught. They said they want their kids to hit straight up, tackle, whatever, and we was told to have them tackle and roll, a gator roll, basically. And literally, I had 2 kids parents quit because of that maneuver.
Well, listen, look, before we let's dive into this real quick, because the game's gonna be starting soon. We're gonna end it soon, but I do want to dive into the Colorado-Oregon game this weekend. Get Darren's opinion on that one.
You were waiting on this, Richie, the whole time, man. Let's be real.
All right, so listen, I really like what Deion's doing in Colorado. Let me start off with that. All right, I do. I like that he can be a coach and a dad. That's every man's dream, is to coach their kid. That's an awesome thing. I don't have no boys, but I've coached. We did the numbers the other day. I've coached over 3,000 players in my career now. A couple still in the NFL. But the hype behind Deion is because he's Deion Sanders. But we're gonna see what they got this week when they finally play a team that's a real team. TCU lost a lot of people. Colorado State is trash. Okay, You're gonna go without your best player. All right, Hunter's out for a couple of games.
On both sides of the ball.
On both sides of the ball, and don't forget, he's one of the reasons why they won the game versus TCU to help blow it out with that pick right at the end zone that he got off of his man and slid underneath there. I'm gonna say Oregon State -12 this week. That's my pick. I think Oregon, not Oregon State. I'm sorry. Oregon wins. Their running game's good. But I still think Sanders will have probably about 200, 220 yards. I'll give him 2 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Is that what you have, Matt Pancho?
There's a lot of hype. the way I've watched a lot of Dion videos on a tube or whatever. Dude, his coaching method is second to none, I believe. He gives his kids the power to to make their decisions, and just his way of teaching or talking to his players, or even talking to the media, is something that we've never really heard before.
Yeah,
it's again, like you said, we hated the guy growing up, but his talent is second to none. I mean,
I grown up, I still hate him.
And all these kids are believing. I love Dion. They got all these kids believe in him. They feel like they all prime time when they on the field.
He's charismatic, dude. Absolutely.
Go ahead,
Dave. They feel like they're the best player on the field at that time. Like, so talent versus team could be right. If they play as a team, dude, from what I've seen, they look stout for being thrown together for 1 year.
Go ahead, Dave.
You're playing with a lot of confidence, basically. You're playing with a lot of confidence. I mean, this dude will build you where you want to go run through a wall. You know what I'm saying? Like, the talent without Hunter on defense won't be there, like Darren was saying, to probably beat Oregon. But I think they'll be in that game because they do have, Sanders, the quarterback.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a pretty solid game. I could see those numbers, maybe even a little higher, possibly. But I think, like Pancho's saying, too, like, he's going to get the most out of those kids. You know what I'm saying? You always see these teams in sports, you're like, hey, man, they might not have been the most talented team, but they managed to get to the championship that year or finals, whatever. But, the coaching has a lot to do with it. I think he gets the most out of his players. I think he's a better X's and O's guy than what some people are kind of, leading him out to be. But just getting the team riled up and ready to go. I mean, this guy is pretty charismatic, pretty awesome.
I tell you what, it would be wrong for me to sit up here and bash Dion, which I do all the time. I get it, but I also have to give credit where credit's due. I think he handled it with nothing but class about the threatening the kid was getting,
with the
and
safety,
he came out and said that was a class act by Dion, and I commend him for that, seriously. And all joking aside, that was a really class act by him.
Richie might have not went that route, man. I think a lot of college coaches could have went the other way or just ignored it. You know what I'm saying? He took it on head on, which was pretty awesome.
Now, with that being said, I honestly think Colorado's going to tap out in the middle of the third quarter. Completely.
And they can even be a third quarter.
Completely. They will beat them by 30. I promise you. By 30. By 30.
All right, so hold on. Hey, do you know who Dion kind of reminds me of? Dion reminds me of John Curtis, JT Curtis. Because think about it. JT has these dudes that are 5'8", 180 pounds, thinking that they are Andre the Giant. I mean,
right.
JT has a couple of studs every year, but that's it. I mean, they're going up against Paul with 10
Lance just posted, look, it's a circus on the sideline with all the celebrities. Just coach the game.
That's what football's become, Lance. I don't know when's the last time you really been to a game, but LSU games have all of their people.
But my thing is this: why you haven't heard the trash talking this week?
I mean, they had at the Seminole games, they had injuries. They had on the sideline dancing, making videos. I mean,
wait, naked videos? What?
Oh my God!
Wait, you said naked videos or naked videos? What's going on here? Wait, hold on. This show just took a turn, man. Wait, hold on.
I mean, so this.
That's like what the hell I get into.
My personal opinion, the coaches that Dion is bringing in, I mean, to have that in your pocket, or even have Warren Sapp, Michael Irvin, to have these guys who are picking, these kids are picking their brains, it revives them. It brings them back to life. Michael Irvin, and listen to Warren Sapp video today that I shared. Dude, he is ready to run through. He's like, this is the first time I've ever had 5-6 kids ever ask me the key to how to make this work. And he's like, that would.
But the thing about it is, though, Pancho, and we joke and we clown about it. I think the size and the weight of the difference between that in the trenches on the defensive offensive line, and Darren can tell you, it's going to be a big difference, dude. They got some big boys over there.
Yeah, and Richie, it's going to take them time to get those recruits in. It ain't going to be this year, but by next year, they're going to get more size.
I'm not saying Dion's not going to build a program there. I'm not. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying I'm saying is everybody's hyping them up right now, and they're not ready right now. I'm telling you right now.
Hey, so listen. Hey, before we get off, we gotta hit on some NFL stuff though.
Go ahead.
So don't forget that we knocked Young out. Young's not playing this game up against the Seahawks. So if he's on your fantasy, you're probably in last place anyway. But you might want to bench him. Don't forget that Pat just now signed the biggest contract in NFL history, overtaking Burrow.
Right.
And also, too, listen, make sure to take Ayuk out your lineup tonight. He is inactive.
Nice. Good
Brandon
call.
Ayuk is out.
Yeah.
I got Debo in tonight in one of my leagues, but I'm the vampire in one of my leagues.
And play Puka.
Yeah.
Y'all need to get into the vampire league, man. It's kind of cool.
It is.
I heard
just
about
started
that, man.
dude.
I got to check into that, man.
I'm the vampire.
Nice.
So listen, guys. We're gonna.
I won the first week.
So listen. We're gonna bring Darren on from every now and then. You know he does great, and he's a real coach. So he'll give us his honest opinion about us. We just sit up here and say whatever we want. Darren, thank you for joining us. Look, of course, guys, always a pleasure. You know, always.
Tonight's game.
Huh?
Who we got in tonight's game?
Oh man, come on. Really?
I think the 49ers win pretty convincingly, especially without Barkley. I think it's not even close, man.
Well, let Darren pick it. He's the guest.
There you go.
Christian McCaffrey runs for about $120, 2 touchdowns, and they beat the Giants by 17.
Jesus. There you go.
And Brock Purdy just does Brock Purdy-like things. Just keeps it simple and smooth, man.
Oh, I want to share the link. Darren, you coming up? You going up to Houston, huh? You going into Houston?
I might.
Man, listen, I've been working on tickets for this game. I'm a ticket guy, dude. I go through the ringers to find tickets or get tickets. The tickets for the Houston Saints game are going with fees $150.
I got mine a long time ago.
No, they've been that. But if you look at every other game,
Thank you, Fatty.
For Houston, their tickets are $35. So I called them directly, and they told me, "Hey, you can buy one game, but you have to buy a second game. You can buy the Saints game, but you got to buy a second game with it." I'm like,
well, listen. Even if you can't go to the game, come out there and party with us. If you can't go to the game, it's gonna be a big old party in Houston anyway. And Darren knows everybody all over the place anyway, so it don't matter.
Yeah, take over the 713, man, huh?
You know that's for sure. Well, listen, guys, thank y'all.
What happened? I got one question. What happens if Derek Carr comes in here and blows up, stinks it up against Green Bay?
We're gonna hear a lot of shit on Facebook, probably.
Good Lord, man, Jesus!
As long as we win, and he manages a game at least until he gets to that point, well, I'm okay. So the win is the big thing.
We're gonna do our picks, but Darren, what you got to score? Saints game.
To be honest, I'm taking it like 20, 24, 21. Saints win with a late field goal.
Y'all don't want mine, dude. I'm telling y'all. This was circled on my calendar as a loss.
Really? I think our defense really handles those guys, man.
They don't have the personnel to beat us. On paper, we should be up by 14. On paper,
that defense is stout.
Yeah, you got Jair Alexander. They got some guys, Kenny Clark. I mean, they got some players on defense, man. That's what I'm worried about. We just got to protect the football. This is a game you can't go in there and lose a turnover battle. I mean, it's going to be a rowdy environment like every other game in Green Bay.
What?
Yeah, I mean, A.J. Dillon's a force, though, too, man. You got to keep an eye on him.
Again, you could be
Dobbs is sneaky.
Let's just get through this week and get Kamara back. Let's just get through this week. I can't.
If you be 3-0 getting Kamara back, that's going to be an awesome start.
Let Darren say. What's up, D?
Before I go, remember something. I'm not saying he's Drew Brees, but the last time we brought in a big quarterback, it was Brees. Brees was 3-13 that year. So all Carr's got to do is win another 2 games to surpass that. Y'all just remember something. We on the way up, fellas.
We got weapons, though. We got better weapons. We have a lot.
Thank y'all. Hey, listen. Thank y'all, fellas. Peace out. Who that?
All right, guys.
Thank y'all. Later.
Rock and roll.